AG Jeff Sessions, who's famously against legalization of cannabis. Are you increasingly optimistic at the prospect of more legalizations in the U.S. to come?
I'm hugely optimistic, not only with what is happening in the U.S., but what's happening around the world. You know, the U.K., the United Kingdom, went from not talking about medical cannabis legalization to legalizing in a very short period, about 8 weeks.
They used to have
2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court in Mexico essentially legalized cannabis for adult use. They will pass a few laws to do that, but in country after country around the world, we are seeing a continued march towards legalization of medical cannabis and adult use. In the U.S., obviously Michigan passing adult use, two very conservative states, Utah and Missouri, passing medical. You mentioned the departure of Jeff Sessions. I also think there was a House election in the Texas 32nd where Pete Sessions lost to a Democratic candidate. And Pete Sessions has really prevented a lot of bills to coming onto the floor of the House over the last several years around medical cannabis and cannabis legalization. And so we're looking forward to that change in the House of Representatives.
Brendan, I was in Italy last week, and imagine my surprise in downtown Turin. There it is, a marijuana dispensary with folks just going in and out and looking to make purchases. When you look at this legalization process that's happening in many markets around the globe, is the U.S. behind the ball right now?
I think the U.S. is behind in that you're seeing companies such as ours generate massive amounts of revenue in other places around the world. And you're seeing several very large TSX-listed companies that are going to be difficult for U.S. companies to catch. IP,
Aurora and Canopy Growth are the ones you want.
Are all being created outside of the U.S. And it puts the U.S. at a disadvantage. Like you said, there's about 35 countries around the world that have legalized medical cannabis. It's really clear to me how we go from 35 to 40 to 50, 60 countries around the world in the next 2 to 3 years. And if something doesn't open up the U.S., I think the U.S. is at a disadvantage.
You mentioned you and your competitors kind of racing to supply all of these new markets, and obviously as different jurisdictions come around, it creates all these catalysts for new markets for growth. I just want to project ahead a little bit, though, where this industry is ultimately headed. From an investor's point of view, even if you're one of the biggest ones, are we talking about a crop company? Are we talking about essentially a commodity provider of something that many, many companies will be trying to deliver? And exactly what are the economics of that long term?
There's so many different flavors.
You can't talk about this product like a crop. That would be like talking about ABI or Molson Coors and comparing the price of hops or wheat. This industry is going to be about brands. It'll be about CPG brands. It'll be about other form factors, whether it's beverages or edibles. It'll also be about pharmaceutical products. In 11 countries around the world outside of Canada, our products are available in pharmacies. And that's what the future of this industry looks like. It's rare that you see an entire industry develop overnight, but that's what's happening here. And I think it's a $150 to $200 billion industry. It's disrupting the pharmaceutical industry. It's disrupting the alcohol industry, and to some extent, it will disrupt the CPG industry. And so it's rare that you see something this big emerge in country after country around the world. And so I think it's I think it's at least a $200 billion industry 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And so that's the opportunity. It's a long-term growth story, and it's about creating companies and creating brands and products that consumers love around the world.
Brendan Kennedy, thank you for joining us. Tilray shares down about 2%. I'm down about 2% right now in after-hours trade.
Up 500 since I've
Yes, let's put it in perspective. Thank you.